Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine these ancient universities, um, huge centers of learning, right? Thriving for thousands of years. Maybe not as famous as, say, Nalanda or Taxila, but just as profound in their own way. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the work of Santosh Chaudhary from Nalanda Open University. Really fascinating stuff.
It really is. And what's quite unique about him is his background. He's actually got a postgraduate degree in physics.
Physics? Interesting.
Yeah, and it's not just a footnote. It's, pretty central to how he works. This interdisciplinary thing he does, blending scientific thinking with historical research, it lets him look at old texts and archaeological data with a different kind of precision. He spots things others might miss, sometimes challenging how we've always understood things. So our mission here really is to give you a kind of shortcut to seeing how his work is, well, changing the picture of India's educational history, filling in some pretty big gaps in that global story of knowledge.
That's a powerful mix, science and history. So we'll focus specifically on his main books, Ancient Mithila University and Chanakya Mahashala. We want to see how they really paint a much fuller picture, right, of what ancient Indian education actually looked like. Okay, let's start with Ancient Mithila University. Now, this is where Chaudhary's research really drops a bombshell. His detailed work suggests its origins go back over 4,000 years.
1,000 years, yeah.
Evolving from these philosophical conferences King Janaka of Mithila held at his court. That's not just pushing the date back, it implies this really long, sophisticated tradition.
Exactly. And what's truly fascinating about Mithila is its specialty, Nyaya Shastra.
The school of logic.
Precisely. Ancient Indian logic. Think of it like a really rigorous system for understanding valid knowledge.
Yeah.
It pushed students to deeply analyze arguments, scrutinize evidence. Mithila was this vibrant place for, well, critical thinking, epistemology, intense philosophical debate. You had figures like Aksapada Gautama, who founded Nyaya Shastra, and the famous female philosopher Gargi. She famously challenged the sage Yajnavalkya right there in Janaka's court. An intellectual showdown. Chaudhary actually mentions debates that can sometimes go on for weeks.
Weeks? Wow.
Yeah, scholars sleeping in the court, just immersed in the debate. It shows you the sheer intensity,
Weeks-long debates. That definitely puts rigorous into perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so from the logic battles of Mithila, Chaudhary takes us somewhere quite different in his second major book, Chanakya Mahashala, published not long after the Mithila book, right? And this one explores another big ancient center, but this time in the Naimisharanya forest.
That's right. A very different vibe.
Yeah.
While Mithila was all about logic and debate, Chanakya Mahashala was a huge complex of ashramas. Think residential centers, sort of like ancient academies, maybe hermitages, focused on spiritual and academic learning.
Okay, more like residential colleges almost.
Something like that. Overseen by the famous Vedic sage Chanakya.
Yeah.
And get this. It's believed more than 10,000 students were studying the Vedas there.
10,000? That's enormous.
It is. And it really highlights just how diverse ancient Indian education was. You had these different models operating. So together, these two places, one a logic hub, the other this massive Vedic academy they show us, ancient India wasn't just one thing. It was more like a vibrant ecosystem of specialized learning, often existing side by side.
It's incredible, that diversity and specialization, something you don't often think about with ancient education. And Chaudhary's unique approach, that physics background, it's not just in the research, is it? It's also how he shares it. He's lectured for a web series on quantum mechanics.
Yeah, a journey to quantum mechanics. And he even has a working paper on a first fundamental law of physics.
So he's really working across disciplines.
Absolutely. His curiosity is just, incredibly versatile. And he's committed to getting this knowledge out there, like his entry on encyclopedia.pub about ancient Mithila University. It's got over 1,200 views. That shows his work is reaching people beyond just academia.
Making it accessible.
Exactly. He's not just digging up history. He's making sure people can connect with it. His careful documentation, it directly helps fill those historical gaps we talked about, really promoting parts of India's cultural and educational past that have, frankly, been overlooked for a long time.
So pulling this all together, what does it really mean for you listening to this? Santosh Chaudhary's work gives us these invaluable insights. It helps us build a picture of ancient Indian education that's far more diverse, much more intellectually deep than maybe we thought before.
And if you look at the bigger picture, his research, especially claiming that 4,000-plus year history for Mithila, well, that implicitly challenges the standard, often Eurocentric timelines we have for formal universities.
Right. It suggests maybe we need to rethink where higher education began.
Definitely. It really underscores India's own unique, independent contribution to, global knowledge systems. It pushes us to rethink the origins of organized higher learning globally.
And for you, this deep dive really shines a light on the power of just sticking with it, that persistent cross-disciplinary research, how it can uncover these hidden gems in history. It shows that the stories we think we know about the past, they might just be waiting for someone with a fresh angle to rewrite them completely.
Which really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other forgotten intellectual traditions, these really sophisticated educational systems, might still be lurking in history's shadows, just waiting for someone to bring them back into the light and, totally reshape how we see human ingenuity across time.